what do we hope to get out of it? Like, what do you, and this is kind of like the beginning to a little bitty relational discussion about like, how's this for the two of us as human beings?
Phails at philosophy.
But what do you, I think what you hope to get out of it is what you just stated, the ability to be messy with ideas and to shoot from the hip.
Yeah, I mean...
Anything else?
Getting to hang out with you and talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. Getting to be part of your project. I like that. Like, you're doing this cool thing with cameras and stuff. You're my friend Philip. I'm like, oh, my friend's doing something cool. I want to be part of that. I don't want to miss out on that. So, like, yeah, I think a big part of what I get out of it is just like, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours of time to sit and talk with you and enjoy how your brain works and play off that and think about how my brain works in relationship to your brain. And yeah. So I'm here for the love, man.
Here for the LOVE.
That's not in a creepy way.
Not in a creepy way. Agape, y'all. Is that the one?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot lately as there's been an increase in the use of love language at my work, the use of love language in our society, the importance to be careful with that, right? Because I'm realizing that can hit people the wrong way.
Sometimes I wonder if you say I love you to my kids too much, and I wonder, what am I really saying? Am I saying... what am I really saying when I say I love you? Because It's gotten so, I say it all the time.
Yeah. I don't think you can say I love you too much to your kids. I think you're safe there.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think if you like are telling your neighbor you love them and you're not careful, right? It's not the right context and you're just like, I love you, right? It can come off the wrong way.
Well, you've really you've torn out the value of love.
Potentially, or you've just like, you're talking to someone when they hear love from a person they don't know, it sounds to them like, I want to get in your pants.
I want to get in your pants.
Right? You know,
they don't know you just did a loving kindness meditation.
Right, you're just coming out of this like, I love everyone, I love you, let's have a hug, and they're like, hands off, creepy dude.
Yeah, dude. You're way too...
Yeah, so I've been thinking about that. It's a tragedy to some extent that love language has that danger.
Yeah.
But it has a real danger. Anyway, so it's like things like this. Like, that's what I want. I want those like those moments of like interesting things to think about and insights and stuff. But with you.
Yeah.
Now I'm definitely I'm here for you.
I feel honored.
What are you looking for out of this?
I want to get rich. Okay. I want a big house. I want to move away from all you people. I'm just kidding. What I'd like to do is...
Okay. I'm not sure this is going to work out.
I mean,
like you might want to shift to investment banking.
I think part of it is contributing in a meaningful way to the world.
Uh-huh.
I think I always wanted to be an entertainer. I think I always wanted to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
I've always kind of had this outward extroversion.
Pause. It's an interesting thing when you say you want to be an entertainer, because I realize one of the things, and I think part of the synergy between us two, is when you talk about the audience and what you often do come back to entertainment. Is this going to be fun for them and whatnot?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm an educator, so I am always thinking, are they going to learn from this? What are they going to learn from this?
And if we bind
right
those two, they'll learn more.
Right, and it's not like they're mutually, because I think you're thinking, oh yeah, learning is a great way to have fun.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, yeah, you learn better when you're having fun, right? You know, like, so yeah. Anyway, sorry to interrupt, but
no. I want to have fun. I want to share what I've learned in 46 years that it might help people. I do want to enrich my family. I do want to be able to support my daughters and role model for them that you can find a way. You can, you can plot a course. You can fail forward, fail fast, fail, furiously, and you can improve. And there's courage. It's a part of the process. There's a part that I'm teaching myself this, much like when I was a kid. I had a certain experience. And then as an adult, raising kids, I was met with my own child. And and I had to reparent myself in order to parent them well. And so I'm re-educating myself. What does failure mean? Is it okay to be imperfect? What does it mean to go from nothing to some kind of expression that's worthwhile? And is that expression worthwhile on the first step? And I would say yes, it is. You know, but in our culture, I guess the only thing that makes the first step expression worthwhile is that you have the last step, meaning that folks don't go and look at rando artists' first sketches, but they look at Pablo Picasso's first sketches. They look at Matisse's first sketches. You know, so those are important because they show a trajectory of failure, success, iterative improvement.
Yeah, we don't look at the early work of people unless they're like Matisse. But who gets to be the Picasso of your age? Not like in the production, but who we remember in our age, right? In 500 years, we may have an art community that doesn't remember Picasso as anything as this minor blip
Right.
in 20th century art, if at best, and no one's looking at his art. Or he may remain a great...
Yeah. How he...
And people who, like, you know, you think about Emily Dickinson as a poet, she wasn't really known during her time, or even soon after. She was rediscovered and has become a major American voice.
Yeah, so you walk your path, you express yourself without really being impacted by the current culture and whether or not they validate it.
Right. So it's always good to create, I think. I think it's always good to be in that space. Now, yeah, you can do that better if you can figure out how to make it work for you financially.
Well, I mean, making it work for you financially might be the worst thing for you, though.
Potentially, and it's a weird...
But I'd rather do that.
Right.
I want to have the financial thing working,
Right.
even if it makes the art suffer.
Right.
Because I want the kids to have good food.
Right.
And all insurance.
And the nice thing about, even though in late capitalism it's the one way we navigate connecting with audience, is if you become a working creator, right, you now have an audience.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's what we were talking about. Who's the audience?
Yeah.
We don't know, right? Because you're not putting it out yet. Things will change once you have an audience, and I think you'll get the reward is financial, but the reward is having someone listen, having someone see you,
to be able to influence, to be influential,
right? And to be influenced, right? Because once you develop an audience, if you're a good creator, I think you're in dialogue with your audience because you're listening for what they're looking for.
Well, you create as a community,
right,
that you serve,
right.
Then this is an act of service,
right? And it may look like what you're thinking it's going to look like now, or it may not. Part of it's just staying in that space to say, who's this, where's it going, and not overthinking it, and taking it down one trail because it seemed like that's the way it needed to go, and
some way of honoring yourself and your vision and being influenced and kind of in cahoots with the community and the folks that are interested in what you're doing, because they're interested in what you're doing because of the inspiration that you had to start doing it. And yet, to continue that, it's a conversation with them to some extent.
I was reading an article this morning. I forget what it was called. It was like something basically playing off Beast, the something of Beast. And basically it was talking about this sort of like YouTube style of videos.
Oh, Mr. Beast.
That Mr. Beast seems to have pioneered. That's all like lots of action seats, quick cuts, constant going, etc.
Yeah.
And it's designed, there's a word for it, and it's basically designed around just maximizing engagement.
Yeah.
And that it's not doing it anymore. Like,
they've exhausted
the audience of YouTubers find it boring now because it's been done so much.
Yeah.
No one wants to watch a show with a bunch of million cuts and total action.
Yeah.
Right? There's a desire now for something different in that medium.
Yeah.
I don't know why I went on that tangent. I think it's just, yeah, the sort of the dynamics of the audience shift.
Yeah. And there's a whole audience out there that doesn't probably resonate with that style.
No.
And they're still there looking at, our audience doesn't have to be everyone in the world.
Right.
It can be a small percentage of people and be nourishing and being supportive of the art form.
Yeah.
Right? If you get 1% of America or of English speaking countries, and this is before I translate all this into Spanish,
Right.
that's a huge market. That's a huge audience.
Yeah, 1% is incredible. You don't even need that to be successful.
Yeah, less than 1%. So, I don't know.
But I think, yeah, I think it's good. You're going back to your kind of original, like wanting to also show your kids that you can do something like this.
Yeah, I want to model something, and I want to be there for them.
Right, and being there as someone who can say, "Hey, I was in a bad situation with my work.
Yeah.
Like whatever was going on with my work, it was paying my bills."
Well, it's consistency bad. Software for me was consistently bad other than the compensation.
Right.
Consistently.
And
the teams that I was in, it just never felt like I was jiving with them.
wherever this goes, right? If this goes into a major kind of like you become this well-recognized pioneer of like late 20s YouTube culture or whatever. Yeah.
Pioneer Philip Jones. I like it.
If this is a thing you process through as you find whatever it is you get
next. A lily pad.
right? That you realize, oh, like I'm actually getting into the production. I want to work in production, right?
Yeah.
Any number of things that could come out of something like this. All of that is a way that, yeah, I think it's a gift to your family to say, hey, when you're in a bad situation to pay the rent, there are paths out of that, and they're going to be hard, and you're going to have to do work, and you're going to have to take risk, and you're going to have courage.
Yep.
And you can do it. You can move out.
Yeah. Yeah, you can find a way if you're diligent, if you work hard, if you honestly go out and find folks to help support you, to learn from. There's a pathway for folks.
Right.
For me, it's not a solo pathway. It's not me alone. It's me with Grant Potts. It's me with all the people that I invite into these discussions.
Right, and keeping that community to the foreground, even like the community for your equipment.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be here if it weren't for Austin Public as this major community endeavor.
And Austin in general.
And a culture that has built it in a context that is hostile to that kind of public work, right? In terms of the larger, at least legal culture of Texas, actually actively tries to tamp down this kind of public work.
Yeah.
And this communal work, right? That's that's incredible.